This week I have mostly been having a Warfarin flavoured nosebleed. Well, sort of. If I look a bit rough, it's because feeling rough as. I don't really talk about health conditions on here or anything, unless I drop it into a vlog or something. But I thought this might be quite amusing for some anyway, because what happens when you take too much Warfarin? Yeah, I had a big, massive nosebleed as a result. That might be a good title for the video. What happens when you take too much Warfarin? Not that it's not going to be an instructional video, obviously. I'm not going to start doing it live on camera. But I take Warfarin because of heart condition I have. Sort of bleeding in my bloody finger there as part of the thing that just won't stop bleeding. Bloody bleeding. Take Warfarin. Well, basically, I had a aortic valve replacement operation, April 1994. The 29th of April 1994. It was a Friday, if I remember rightly. And also, yeah, I'm sniffling because I've kind of cleared my nostril out there. It's that one that's the problem. Because if I start trying to mess about with it, it'll start bleeding. That's the trouble. So how this sort of came about, I mean, occasionally now and again, I'll sort of, your nostril ends up full of bogies and you think, all right, go in with a JCB and scoop them out, and it's not very pleasant, is it? And then you end up just sometimes going a bit too far, and then a bit of blood comes out, and it's just, sometimes a lot of blood comes out, but it stops after about 10 minutes. Fine. Just sort of you sort of learn what to do just to try and stop it happening. So I thought, this will be, when it happened again yesterday it'd be on Tuesday this week when it happened. It wouldn't stop. And so basically what happened was I have my Warfarin checks, or INR, International Normalized Ratio, every not every Monday, but it's on a Monday. So if I do well with if the reading comes in correctly, I can usually go about 4 weeks in between appointments. This time it's pretty much gone down to weekly at the moment because it's just been all over the place, up and down like a bloody yo-yo. And let's have a nice cup of tea because it's January and it's bloody freezing. So until recently it had been quite low, so they upped the dosage and then it shot over the target range. My target range will be roughly between 3 and 4. I think it had gone to about 4.8 this time, and previously it was on about 2.7. And then I think I had 2 weeks in between appointments. And then, so on this occasion, went from 2.7 to 4.8. So even though taking the tablets all completely correctly, but they did say that, because I've had like sort of colds and shit, that it can affect the reading. So then so for ages I had like a 7-day pill box. Yeah, that's the thing. And sort of take a load of other tablets and put them in the box, and then I'll fill up the Warfarin as well. Lately I'm doing that on a Thursday because it just seems to be when I do it. Sort of where I was up to previously, because there'll be sometimes you'll miss a day, then so next time you'll be refilling it up on a Friday for the next week. Then recently I bought a 28-day pill box. Thought, it's going to make it so much easier. I'll do all the majority of the tablets, because they come in boxes of 28, most of them. I'll do the majority of the tablets on in one go. Great. And then I thought I'll put Warfarin in for the next week, etc., and then until my next appointment. What I'd forgotten this time was, for some reason, I put a few days ahead as well, which are all 4 milligrams each. And then, as it turned out, because it was just over the limit this time, they wanted me to go down to 4 days a week this time. Great, sorted, and come back next Monday. Sorted. So sounds like ideal. Except that I'd only spotted this on Tuesday night when I went to take some tablets. I realised that on for the Tuesday and the Wednesday, maybe I think it's just Tuesday and the Wednesday left in there at the time, there was Warfarin already in there, which made me think, that means I already had Warfarin in the box on Monday, and what I've then done is, because I wasn't paying attention on the Monday evening quite late, I then went in and put extra Warfarin, so another 4 milligrams basically. Now that meant I had 8 milligrams on the Monday, and now they say you shouldn't course correct yourself. Really what I probably should have done is given them a ring, and then they'd get you making another bloody appointment sooner. I'd rather not do that, thank you very much. So I'm not really helping myself there. But, so yeah, you shouldn't course correct, but what I did do was I took out the excess Warfarin that was still in the box, just so I only had the 4 milligrams in there. But I also just took out the stuff for Tuesday so that I didn't have any Warfarin on the Tuesday. So I technically had 8 milligrams over 2 days rather than 4 milligrams each. You shouldn't really do that. But I thought, I couldn't live with this, so keep going on with this, because when I had I had a full bogey, etc. on the Tuesday, and I went to sort of deal with it, and the next thing I know, I think I've actually got, you might be able to see something, I won't get too graphic. I might put rather than put a picture in this video, I might just put a link to it, so you don't have to click on it. A link for you not to click on for a change, unless you want to see all my blood. And so so you shouldn't course correct. So but I did, and I'm just gonna stick at 4 milligrams now until the next checkup and just hope for the best. And then when I come to refilling the box with Warfarin, because I won't fill the whole 28 days with Warfarin, because I've obviously not got. I've got less than 28 days till my next appointment, so I should really just leave it empty of Warfarin and then just top it up when I come to it next time. But this time when I went to, I just scratched it and accidentally sort of, I think I have sort of maybe ripped off a bit of skin, and it basically just started bleeding. This was Tuesday about 1 o'clock. Luckily I did this when I was in the bathroom, so if I'm going to bleed on the ground, it's better to bleed on tiles than it is in most other rooms that have carpet. Plus the toilet roll is a lot softer on the old nozzle than kitchen towel, which is quite abrasive at times. But it just bled and bled and bled, and I was trying to stop it and block it up, and because always in films they just fill their noses full of a bit of blood. They fill their noses full of kitchen towel or bog roll or whatever, just to stop the blood coming out. But really, you need to let it coagulate. So, and anyway, I managed to get it to stop long enough for me to, after 75 minutes of this messing about and looking like a scene out of Reservoir Dogs, to be able to wash my hands properly and then use my phone to try and find out a way to stop the bleeding. And it turns out if you just sort of pinch the top of your nose like that, it says hold for 10 to 15 minutes. So you don't have to go full Frank Sidebottom, thank you very much. But just enough to pinch at the top, so it's not too bad, so it doesn't hurt. And it did actually stop it. So that time I did it 15 minutes. And it did stop it. And then it came on again a bit, like about an hour or so later. I just had to sort of try the whole process again on my nose, and it stopped it. So that's a good thing. That's one thing I've learned how to deal with. But it was absolutely bloody grim. And so after 75 minutes of all the bleeding, and I used 2.5 bog rolls trying to deal with it. It's a good job I got a bloody good offer through Amazon over Christmas, and I just ordered a shitload of bog rolls as if I was preparing for the next pandemic. But losing quite a bit of blood, I I did start to feel quite woozy then, and I do still now. Might normally try and go for a walk in the afternoon or something, but um, I think I'll sort of leave it for the rest of the week, especially because although at the moment, as I speak, I've sort of stuck a few cotton buds up my nose, trying to clean them out a bit because it looks like a bloody mess in there. I don't really want to frighten people when I walk about. Still, on the plus side, one thing I do know is that I know how a rat feels when it once got into my house through the. I don't know if I mentioned this before because I bought a new. I'll say new washing machine. No, no. So I had a new washing machine anyway. I bought a new dryer in about 2021 or so. Was it? No, 2020. Maybe 20. No, 20. Like 2023 even. Oh, God, time's gone so fast. It might be 2021. I can't remember. It feels like a long time ago. Um, and it just ate through the back of the cable, the power cable, it got in through where the dryer is, because the dryer used to be the model that sort of lets the hot air out the back of the house, but then the thing had fallen off, the grate had fallen off at the back, and I kept thinking, oh, I should really sort that out, and I never did. And the next thing I know, I had this bloody rat in the house, and if it could just, so it killed the dryer, so I had to get that replaced basically. If I could have found a way to say to the rat, here's £50, leave, take this with you, thank you very much, goodbye, we'd both have been happy. But unfortunately, the rat didn't speak English, and it would never come out during the day anyway. And when I eventually I actually bought a couple of rat traps. Unfortunately, unlike the Boomtown rats, where they say it's a rat trap and you've been caught, somehow even when cheese is a waste of time. I put what was it? They said put peanut butter and chocolate down on it, and so I literally put smeared peanut butter on it. Then you tried it with chocolate another time, and sellotape the bloody thing. Put the rat trap on, and sellotape the bloody chocolate and peanut butter and whatnot to the thing. Sellotaped it down, so if the rat wanted to eat the contents, you literally have to cut through or chew through the sellotape. That would cause enough of problems with enough of friction, whatever, with the rat trap, because whatever I put before, just on top of it, then put the thing over, he took it and then ran off before the thing even went off. I thought, right, sellotape it down. That'll make him bleeding. That'll make him think twice, or at least he'll get stuck into that and then he'll get killed. No, somehow he still managed to eat all the stuff and not set the fucking trap off, or it went off after he'd eaten sometimes. So it took 14 days worth of Warfarin, 3 and 1 milligram tablets. So 4 milligrams times 14, 56 milligrams in total. Just put them. I thought he was in the front room, so I put them in the front room on the floor. It's just a wooden floor there, thankfully. And the next thing I know, the next day, I saw he'd eaten one of the 3 milligram tablets and left the rest. So I thought, well, that's a start. And then, God, it's such a pain in the arse, this thing, because I had it for quite some time before I got rid of it. About 9 hours later, I was upstairs. I was coming downstairs to make dinner. This was about 7 o'clock. And I'm walking down the stairs thinking, oh, what the hell is that smell? Absolutely stinks. Stinks more than Reg Cox in EastEnders. And it turns out, and I suddenly thought, oh, it's the rat, it's dead. And then I tried to find it. And what I realised was, there was a hole around the back of the fridge in the kitchen. And basically, because the kitchen's a bit weird in this house, you have a sort of step down to the kitchen from the lounge. He basically tunnelled through the wall. So he'd gone around the back, he'd come up sort of through where the dryer was and gone through the back of the cupboard units to behind the fridge. Thank God he didn't cut through the fridge cables. And then he just burrowed through the wall there. So basically he died underneath the lounge. Yeah, floorboards. He'll be there now. And that stank. And that stank for 2 whole weeks. Thankfully, I spend most time if I'm in the man cave, so that's upstairs. So I wouldn't smell him too often unless really when I'm making dinner. Then after about 2 weeks, the smell disappeared. Excellent. How's that for a slice of fried gold? Unfortunately, then obviously some flies decided to mate, lay eggs, whatever, in the carcass, because that's what I worked out had happened. Because next thing I knew, and for the next 2 fucking weeks, I had a shitload of flies coming out from under the lounge. Some went into the window by the front room. Some went into the window in the kitchen. And I ended up buying a fly killer machine thing, which did get quite a few of them, but not all of them. A lot of them still just gravitated towards the windows. And so it was like every hour there'd be like another 6 to 8 on there. And what I try and do, if I could, get them to the kitchen window, and then hopefully get them to try and sort of sit on the window, and then I'd have the window handle, and then while they're sort of settled, so I open the window, and then just like bang the window so they fall off to go outside, and then close it again. I say outside into the conservatory, which is a shit tip anyway. But there is, at least if they go in there, there is a window to get out, if they can figure out how to get out of a window. And anyone knows who has a fly come into the house through the bathroom window, they can get in, but somehow they can't find their way out again. I think it's to do with the way they interpret wind drafts or something, and they can work it out to get from outside to in, but not from inside to out. So, yeah, after 2 weeks, that was all gone, and that was so a few months of this rat being a fucking pain, and also I think the first time I sort of realised something was amiss when he was here, he, she, whatever, was when I brought the shopping in, and I just accidentally left a loaf of bread on the rug in the lounge where I am now, rather than just put it away. It just sort of fallen out. I think I just hadn't thought about it. And so when I come down one morning, I find sort of half a loaf just sitting there on the rug. I'm like, what the fucking hell's happened here? And that's when I realised something was happening. So it must be, because I've got like a sort of, you can see behind me, I've got like a leather settee. It's technically a lazy boy type thing, but I don't really use that part of it. But it's like a corner sofa. And so basically what he'd done is he'd come out of and I saw him a couple of times, he'd come out from behind the fridge, sort of come into the lounge, then gone all the way around the back of this sofa, and then gone on the carpet on the rug to eat the bread, and then gone back in at night. But yeah, if there's some way I could offer him money and then make him leave, I would do that. Anyway, that's so that's what not to do with a rat. I don't have pets, thankfully, so because obviously if you do have warfarin, don't put warfarin down if you've got pets, because they might eat it and then you've got a big problem. Well, they'll probably die, sadly. Also, if you've got kids, definitely don't put the warfarin down. So yeah, warfarin, taking too much, don't do it. Causes a lot of blood, makes you feel woozy. I'm feeling fucking woozy now just even talking about it, because even though I've managed to get it to stop now, if you have a situation that gives you a lot of blood pressure, because I have high blood pressure as well, not to put too fine a point on it, but if you need to go for a massive, which we generally do have to do once a day at least, that might cause the blood pressure to go up. And so you can be sat there doing your business, and then all of a sudden, starts pouring with blood as well. Hopefully, this will soon stop. I fucking hope so. it's tempting when I next go to my checkup next week. If somehow, by some miracle, my INR reading for the warfarin is bang on, just not to mention any of this, so that they don't go, oh, well, Dominic, then you're on target, but you've had all that ups and downs during the week with all the blood, so we'll get you to come back next week anyway. Oh, God. Which is really what I should do. I should mention it, but I'll be damn tempted just to say nothing at all, just so I can have a few weeks off from going if it is bang on target. Then again, because I've had week after week after week mostly, they'll probably just put it to 2 weeks next time, even if it is on target. So, warfarin, fun times. I've since learned there are alternatives to warfarin. So when I have my next annual checkup, which I think will be in April, mention, is there any possible alternative ways to warfarin? I don't know whether it can, maybe, is it to do with the type of warfarin you take or whatever is based upon the heart valve that you have. Mine was an aortic one, put in 31 years ago, nearly 32. And they have to crack open your ribs, and then they crap inside it. No, they don't. They crack open everything, put a new what's in your heart, and then sew it all back up. But nowadays they can just do it. What's the keyhole surgery? Yeah, I'm sure they can do it that way. As I understand it, I don't really want to have another one anytime soon. If you can do that, maybe that would be the one that goes with the new type of the alternatives to warfarin. I've no idea. But anyway, something to ask next time, just in case, because there are certain types of alternatives I understand that don't require endless checkups. How they get around that, I've no idea. But anyway, I'm here for now. Ooh, cup of tea. I make the best tea. I make me a cup of tea, let it brew strong, by which time it goes a bit cold, then just put it in the microwave until it bubbles. And then it's boiling hot and bang on, absolutely bang on. Anyway, enough of my waffling. How do I end these videos now? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. In the meantime, please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already. Look on the hype button thing on, it might be a mobile thing, I'm not sure. There's instructions in the description on how to do all that. Do the hype button thing. It helps. If you do all that, it doesn't cost you a bean. You can pay money for it, but you don't have to. You can do it for free, and then it just means more people will get the video. And like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the subscribe button, subscribe if you haven't already, and cue a new genesis, perhaps, of taking the right amount of medication and not being a bloody idiot. Out.